Welcome all. Hope you're feeling great today. I'm much better than last week. Did catch a quite bad cold, but I'm back. Quite cold outside. We have minus 14 degrees, but it's sunny. The sun is not up for so long here. It did go up 9:13 and will go down again 14:12. So even that I'm not in the Arctic parts, the north of Lofoten now, it's quite short days. Wouldn't work on a flat earth. My mum bakes cakes, and Johannes, Mark and Jens. Today I will have a look at a few videos, and the topic of today is flat earthers magicians, or are they frauds and fools? I understand that the answer to that one is quite clear. But I have to have a topic. Let's see if I missed anyone. Oh, I can't see how many we have there. Wait a moment. I lost control over my controls. There I have it. Great. Okay. 7 people watching. Okay, let's begin today's stupidity. It's some well-known fools I have chosen. Let's turn off the music and start the video with one of my favorites, Brian's logic. Oh, there.
Well, how are you doing? Okay, this video is going to be shadow. It is a video I wanted to put this out for a while. Like, I always have like 10 different videos I want to make, or things like this, but I just don't get around to it. But this video is coming out the night before a full moon, so anyone can go and test these things for themselves and see what they can come up with. Okay, full moon shadow. To start with this, rather than giving a big explanation for what it is, I'll leave the...
I only want to make one comment. The bad sound is from his video. It's nothing I can do anything about. It's clipping, but it's... Oh. It is what it is. Let's move on a bit.
Crescendo for the end. Here is a diagram showing a globe earth and parallel sun rays. Here is Cyan, here is Alexandria. So the obelisk, the shadow from that was measured by Eratosthenes, right? Now, the claim, right, that what they want to normally do is argue about shadows, right, or put people's focus on shadows. Whereas the only way for him to have measured this, which was an elevation angle, so he measured a 7.24 degree zenith angle off of the elevation angle. The only way for Eratosthenes to have done this is for the distance between this point here and cyan here to have been horizontal, because he measured a horizontal distance. That was the whole point, or moment, that Eratosthenes pre-assumed that the Earth was a globe. I don't believe that for a moment. I believe that much more logically and much more likely, because he wouldn't have done that considering he was using elevation angles and zenith angles. But what Eratosthenes did was he was how you can use the celestial bodies like the sun to determine a distance, a horizontal distance to another location.
But this is purely Brian's fantasies. He makes things up as he goes. As Aristotle did determine the curvature, and you can do these experiments by yourself. Place a friend, but I'm not sure that Brian have a friend, but place a friend at one location and you are in another, and measure the shadows at the same time. So it's nonsense. He tried to use well-known facts to prove something else than they are proving. Oh dear.
And he used the sun and the shadows the sun created as the benchmark for that. As he was probably just converting from stadia or whatever to minutes of degree, right? Because around the Great Pyramid of Giza, one full distance around that is exactly 1 nautical mile. So 0.5.
I don't know where he get that fact from, that it's precisely 1 nautical mile.
Of a nautical mile is what's the name of him? I can't remember the name of him now, but it was a name they had on a type of distance measurement in Egypt. In Egypt, what was the name of it now? A thought mile, thoth, thoth mile.
I'm not an expert in Egypt, so perhaps he's correct. But when I look it up, the unit they used was cubit, and it was based on the distance from the elbow to the tip of the middle finger. But perhaps they had this type of units. I don't know. I'm not really care either, because that's not the point of his silly claims.
A thoth mile is 0.5 of a nautical mile. So back you're going back a couple of thousand years ago or whatever, they knew about nautical miles. They knew about how you can measure distances using using angles. Right, because the only way they would have known about a nautical mile, and the only way that it is possible for the full distance around the Giza pyramid to be exactly 1 nautical mile or 2 thoth miles, is the only way for that to be a reality is for them to have known about how to measure horizontal distances using angles to bodies. That's the only way done that. There's no other way to be able to do that. It wouldn't be an accident.
So he's claiming that the Egyptians used nautical miles. That's quite stupid. I think they started using it about 1500s or something like that. But the Egyptians, I doubt it.
They would know that they would use thoth miles, which is exactly 0.5 of a nautical mile. So that's 0.5 of a minute of degree, right? So it's 30 seconds of degree or whatever.
This, Brian perhaps is a bit stupider than some flurves, but this is so damn silly. Oh dear. This experiment that he talks about was about measuring the globe. Had nothing to do with measuring distances between places. Okay, let's move on to another one of his pseudoscience videos.
Well, how are you doing? This video is going to be titled 7/6 of a radius keeps debunking the globe model. This is going to be very simplistic, but it's something. Sometimes the most simple things are often the things that we look straight past. And when it comes to 7/6R, what it isn't, I should say, is refraction. It has nothing to do with light. It has nothing to do with temperature. It has nothing to do with density of air. Nothing to do with change in a medium, Snell's law, anything else. Nothing to do with any of that. It's actually a physical change in the size of a globe Earth. So what they need to do is give you the impression that you're seeing something in a horizontal, simply because the globe Earth has increased in size. That's basically the absolute truth of it. So their globe Earth is too small, never matches reality. Never. I've yet to see any observation, regardless of the weather conditions, where the horizon or anything else in the observation ever matched a globe Earth with a radius of 3959 miles. You will never ever get that. They always have to add in as much of their 7/6R and more than as much of it as they can. They always have to do that. So there'll never be an observation where they're not trying to add as much refraction as what they call refraction as possible. But really what it is they're trying to inflate, they're physically inflate the size of their globe to match.
Hello Judy and you nerd alert. Perhaps I missed someone. This is typical Flurves. He's mixing a lot of things, and the most funny thing of this video is the illustration. Where is the bottom of the oil rigs? He talks about the size of the earth is changing. Oh dear.
Something. But one thing they don't take into account, and it just came to me there, something about it was bothering me, because I know that with 7/6R, right, standard nonsense, right, the 1.1508 ratio between nautical and statute miles won't work, right? It only works for the 3959 radius. It won't work for the 7/6 radius, which is 4618. So 3,959 mile radius, if you're going to take angles from the center, you will be able to, along the longitude lines, convert from nautical to statute miles, right? So straight or curved along the longitude lines, once they stay equal in length, you will always be able to convert from nautical to statute at the rate of 1.1508, right? At all times at that ratio. But when they increase the size of their globe, which they always have to, it's constantly way bigger, then that ratio doesn't work, right? It doesn't work because you're increasing the length of the longitude lines. So it doesn't work. The ratio changes. So you won't have 69.04 8 or whatever it is, statute miles per degree, you will have over 80 statute miles per degree. And that's just with 7/6R, not more than 7/6R, which they often have that. But I've made a video on that already, so I don't need to go into that. It's already there, back a few videos from this, right?
He rambling about numbers. He's converting from normal miles to or nautical miles to normal miles, and he obviously don't understand the model he's trying to debunk. He juggling with numbers that he don't understand. Okay, he don't believe in science. He don't do any tests, experiments by himself. He make things up. He lives in his own small fantasy world. And I don't understand why people can't see this. He have nothing to back him up for all these claims. Egyptians did know about nautical miles. And the Earth gets bigger and bigger in the globe model. But it's in his fantasies. It's so damn stupid. Let's look at the 2 short ones from the one and only, you know who. Oh dear, I don't like him.
I see plenty of flat shadows. They very rarely have 3-dimensionality to them, actually.
Well, usually shadows are flat.
Arvin have found out that shadows are usually flat. Arvin, that depends of the surface. Okay.
Because it's a shadow on a flat surface.
In fact, it is a segment of a arc of a circle, no matter the orientation of the moon and the sun.
Orientation in your presupposed falling around a sphere Earth, that isn't what the case is, though. You've just begged the question of all of that. You've not validated any of it, and the assumptions required have all been debunked by us.
Okay. But I'm quite sure that Neil deGrasse Tyson don't know about you, Nathan, and I'm sure he wouldn't be impressed if he listened to your nonsense. You haven't proved anything. Yes, you have proved your own stupidity and that you are arrogant and quite nasty piece of work.
And please share the show.
And the only thing that makes a perfectly circular shadow
be something that's perfectly circular.
Perfectly spherical.
Spherical.
Yeah.
What about going red? What does that? Is that a shadow when it goes red? Yeah.
Nathan don't understand why the sun goes red, and he's quite proud of being ignorant.
You haven't explained what I observed. I mean, I'm just a mere man looking at a moon turning red and going, what the hell is that? Meaning everything about it. What is the moon? What's it doing? Why is it in the sky? Why is it turning red? Why did it go extremely cold when it turned red? None of that.
The moon don't go extremely cold when it's red. Oh dear. Claims he accuses people of having nothing backing up their claims. And where is Nathan's evidence for a cold moon when it's red? Of course, he have none.
Those things describe shadows to me. Like none of them.
So the only thing that makes a perfect circle shadow every single time
Not a shadow. You've assumed it's a shadow.
is a perfect sphere.
Right.
Okay?
If it's not a shadow, Nathan, what is it?
If it's occulting it, the light from the sun, that is. So if we're a sphere and we're between the moon and the sun, definitely not. The Seleninian eclipse would demonstrate that there's nothing that could be described as Earth as a sphere between those two celestial items. You can't describe them that way when they're both above the horizon. What's occulting what? Nothing, basically. So what do you guys call that? The impossible eclipse? No, very much a possibility when we're watching it happen. It's just impossible in your stupid model. Because you've got it occulting and causing shadows. Whereas when it starts turning red and the sun's still there, obviously it's not an occultation that's causing it to turn red. I mean, cause a shadow as you assume it. And none of that's true. None of it represents anything that I've observed in this regard.
As a disk, it would only make a perfect circle if you lined it that way.
Right.
In a straw man heliocentric orbital motion that needed a flat Earth elevation angle measurement to derive in the first instance, and then reinserted into that heliocentric model after measuring the flat Earth elevation angle measurements from a flat plane and converting it from the celestial sphere model with its equatorial flat plane by way of Haversine into your globe to further advance your R value into a Venus with an R value that's assumed, and then Kepler's third law of interplanetary motion with a flat disk inserted thereafter. Utter horseshit. Yeah, notice how easy and succinct it was for me to pull apart that straw man in its entirety, as well as debunking every aspect of heliocentrism and proving a flat Earth. I didn't even need to take breath.
Oh dear. Nathan must be one of the most arrogant fools around. He presents a word salad without a meaning and thinks he's the greatest scientist of all times. Wow. And what do he think about other curves?
Red dwarf about it. That's not the apparent horizon, Dave.
It's too stupid to be debating this stuff, Dave. Yeah, that's why I'm humiliating you.
Than this. And these little waves, again, it's the same way the sun sets. It's being blocked. My finger.
Sorry, Dave, we don't need you to tell us how the sun sets, my friend. There's a positive assertion that the Western world believe in that it's a geometric horizon, limiting your view at 1.2 times the square root of the observer sight feet. This alternative view about what it's doing isn't required. You're not my guru, you stupid man. Don't try and preach to me about what you say it is, especially when the positive claim that it's Earth curve getting in the way isn't being debunked by you. You're worthless to us. First debunk that it's Earth curve, then we'll look at your positive assertions and maybe rip your head off with our very, very sharp and shiny sword that we used for bullshitters who make claims they can't back.
And there we have Nathan's view of other flat earthers who tries to explain their model. More and more Nathan is fleeing from trying to explain how things works on the flat earth. He thinks he have proven flat earth with claiming debunking the globe, and all is based around the black swan and the R value. That's the only thing he's really interested in. He always come back to that nonsense about the black swan. And I did see a video some days ago from Bob the Science Guy, and he pointed the fact out that they don't want to present a map that they are claiming are real, because it's so easy to debunk if they make a statement, a claim that this is how it works on flat earth, this is how it looks on flat earth. And during the years I covered flat earth, more and more flat earthers are moving to this. They have no interest in making claims of how the flat earth works, because they will be debunked every time they try that. So Nathan and the rest of gang is nothing but cowards. they are afraid of claiming anything of their models, or so-called model. They don't have a model, they know they don't have a model, so they stick to black swan, sixtenths, and so on, and they misrepresent science. Take Brian's logic, for instance, from the video in the beginning about the measurements, Aristotle's experiments with the well and so on. Suddenly it was a way of measuring distance, not Earth curvature. It's only in Brian's so-called brain. It's have nothing to do with reality. But who is surprised? It's their tactics. Let's see what you're saying in the side chat. I'm thinking of focusing a bit on this in future videos, because I'm looking hard after new material for flat Earth, and I complained about this several times, and it's flat Earth is really on repeat, and I think the reason is that they have realized, the old ones, the old-timers in flat Earth have realized that they can't present a model because it will debunked in seconds, even by earhers. No, I think earhers is a great debunker and have a nice channel. They have 3 items in their model: gravity, buoyancy, night is perspective, gravity is electric. Yes, but your Victoria, on the one side of the Atlantic, they are talking about the relative buoyancy and that crap, and on the US side they are talking about electrostatic and so on, and my mom, yes, they are a broken record. You're quite correct. We'll have a quick one about an update about this. Not that. Sorry. Got the wrong one. It's about the drones. As I mentioned in my previous video, I've sent 12 drones to Ukraine and 3 big power banks, and last night I received the message that they now 5 of the drones are down in combat. So if you want to help Ukraine with the drones, please donate using PayPal. You don't need to donate a big amount. At the moment, I think I need 200 euros more to buy one more drone. I have said it before. At the same time as I use money from donations here, I get donations from colleagues in the defense force. So even if you donate €1 or €2, you will help, because I'm raising money from other places too. but they make a big difference in Ukraine. Hopefully, I will have 2 of them in a live next week. They will be relieved. They will go on leave for some days next week because Ukrainians try to rotate their troops in and out the conflict zone. Not the thing that the Russian soldiers have the benefit to do. So hopefully I will have 2 of them in a live next week. I don't know which day and time, and it depends on if they have electricity or not, depending on if Putin is deciding on bombing power plants and so on. But more information on that later on. Let's see side chat again. Yes, Mr. Mahler, I agree. I will never do videos about auditors. I don't understand it. I don't understand the I can't stand watching videos with those idiots that goes to places filming in government buildings, harassing, what do I call it? Policemen and so on. It's so damn stupid and hilarious. It's not worth the time. But I will have a look into other science deniers too, to mix up with the flirt fools. If you're still in the side chat, are you interested in joining me as a guest on Friday the same time? You can reply in the side chat or a message, private message on Discord or something. MBC. What is that? Mr. Mollert, me? Okay. This was a bit shorter live. I hoped you enjoyed it. Yes, 48 hours from now, you. I'm on my way to guide my 86-year-old's mom to a doctor's appointment. Hopefully, before I leave, I will see a Christmas tree in the sky. It's the Swedish Air Force that have a tradition that they fly with fighter jets in the shape of a Christmas tree to celebrate Christmas, and it will pass me 12:48 my time, so about when I will drop off my mom at the doctor's. So, sorry that it did get a bit short, but I did get the appointment for the doctor with a quite short notice. So, thank you for joining me, and for those who can afford it, please donate to the drones. $1, $2, or the amount you can afford. Yes, the JAS Gripen, the most modern fighter we have in Sweden, it's a Saab, and it's one of the top fighters in the world. In its price range, it's regarded one of the most capable ones. It's a bit different with Swedish fighter. If you compare, for instance, the US fighter, they are cheaper, perhaps a bit simpler, but they are made for can be used so they can land on highways and so on. Thank you, Judy, for thank you for the thank you, Judy. Okay, I have to run. See you Friday. New video will be out tomorrow. Have a nice day. Stay safe. Bye.